Hi everybody. So I'm coming at you today with this glowy, peachy, everyday glam look featuring products from 100% Pure and Root Cosmetics. I hope you enjoy and keep watching if you want to see how I created this look. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna prep my skin by doing a couple sprays of the Beauty Counter Balancing and Charcoal Facial Mist. This helps balance out the oils like it says. And then I'm gonna follow that with Root Cosmetics Pretty Booster. This has actually been really great for balancing out oils, and it's been keeping me pretty matte throughout the day. I've been pretty impressed. I will say, I've tried using it with a sponge and whatnot. I prefer just using my hands. I need some balm. And I've actually been going back to this Nodo Multi Benitent. It's a little bit of like a cherry color, but I really like it. It's hydrating. Gives me a little bit of a wash of red, kind of a little pouty, flirty lip. I dig it. And now to prime my eyelids, I am going to be using this concealer from Well People. Found at Target, and this one is in Fair. I wanted light, but they were out, and I just love the consistency of this concealer because it's very mattifying, helps hold my shadow in place, and I have a lot on my hands there, so we'll wipe that off, and I will use a sponge with this. Now I'm gonna set that with my Late Cosmetics pressed foundation and a large fluffy brush. I've actually had a hard time lately, not lately like today, but I've had a hard time finding a non-toxic eyeshadow primer that is very mattifying. I've tried the Alima Pure one, and some are just very hydrating, which I guess could be great for more mature skin. And I don't want to sound like a jerk, but that's not quite what I have on my eyelids yet, and especially this time of year. Man, I'm just so oily, so it's kind of the pit. So if you have any recommendations for a non-toxic eyeshadow primer that is so mattifying and delightful, help a girl out. So next up, I'm gonna do my brows. I'm using the 100% brow brush and my 100% Pure brow pomade in taupe. And I just tinted my brows the other day. So I just, you know, lightly fill them in. Honestly, and I'm sure it's somewhat related to kind of like the YouTube content that I'm taking in or books I'm reading. I'm really more into kind of a natural makeup look. You know, ingredient-wise, look-wise, the whole nine. So I've really just been kind of adding a little bit of structure to my brows, but really not going like full-blown YouTube of 5 years ago kind of way. And I kind of dig it because I feel like we've gotten away from appreciating what we actually look like naturally. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to appreciate what I look like naturally. And then I'll just brush that out. Ta-da. Okay, and as far as my eyeshadow goes, I don't really have a plan. I'm just gonna play and take you along for the ride. But what I'm gonna do is start in my crease with Root Pretty's Tan Rose right here. We're gonna put that in the corners of my eye, work it into the crease, and also take a small pencil brush and work that around my lower lash line. Let's do it. And then I think what I'm gonna use is Root's Tan Rose. I still have that sample from my haul. Tan Rose on my actual lid. So let's do it. Now we're gonna pack Tan Rose on that lid. And back in our crease with Sweet Tea. Kind of loving this. And then we are gonna take a cleanish, larger fluffy brush and just kind of blend that up to a brow bone. Man, I love these root shadows. Love them. All right, so to get a little more definition on our lash line, I'm gonna use this Noir by Antonym eyeliner. It has a sharpener on one end, which is awesome, and it's black. So I'm gonna line my inner waterline, and on my upper lash line, I have a little bit of like a fold that I like to fill in as well, but I keep it super, super close to the lash line, just for some definition. And now I'm gonna take my tiny little shader brush and take Stiletto from Root and just set that liner on that upper lash line. All right, that is our shadow done. So now what I'm gonna do is take my RMS concealer and bop a little bit of that under my eyes and blend it out. I woke up with some texture here. I might work a little bit of it into that. We'll see how this goes. I've honestly not been wearing a ton of I've been using my Root primer if I'm going out or going to work, but I've really not been wearing a ton of kind of foundation on my skin, and I've kind of been loving it. It's funny, I just feel like sometimes if you put more weight and product on there, it just looks like you have more weight and product on there. And the RMS concealer, it's the Uncover Up, and I'm in the shade 22. But I, honestly, if I'm in a hurry, I'll just use my fingers. It's a really good, malleable concealer. It's awesome for mature skin. I will say, I will not put it on my eyelids. Not because it doesn't cover up, it's just because it's coconut oil based, and so it can kind of slide around a little bit if you're using it to set eyeshadow. All right, and now we're gonna set our foundation with our Elate powder, and I get under the eye as well. Honestly, I'm not super into the under eye highlight situation right now, but I think that goes back to me wanting a little more natural of a look anyway. All right. And then on for some dimension on this skin. For bronzer, I'm gonna use the Lily Lolo Miami Beach bronzer. Honestly, a solid, clean dupe for something like Hoola or something like that. And the nice thing about this bronzer is that if you're in a pinch and you don't have like a matte brown crease color, you can use this on your eyes as well. So great multi-purpose product. And then what I'm gonna do next, and I've found lately that when I do my bronzer, my highlight, and then my blush, I feel like it all marries really well together. I have loved like highlight on my cheek, but I kind of bring it around like that orbital bone of my eye. So let's do it. Oh, and this is the 100% gemmed, 100% pure gemmed luminizer in Moonstone Glow. It has a little bit of like a pinky white cast, so I think it could be tricky if you had kind of a medium to dark complexion, but if you are pasty like me, you're good to go. Then for blush today, I'm gonna use 100% Pure's Mimosa blush. It's a little bit of a kind of a corally orangey pink. To be honest, it's definitely not a soft natural pink. It has some for sure orangey undertones, but I kind of like what that's gonna do to my eyes, kind of bring out my eye color and bring out the shadow as well. Tan Rose is a funny one because in the pot, it honestly looks very cool toned and ashy, but on the eye, it's so gorgeous and like rosy and warm to me. All right, and just to help with some mattifying aid, I'm gonna put a light little dusting of 100% Pure's Bamboo Blur Powder in my T-zone. And this is a very finely milled loose powder. This is not a really easy one to like carry with you, but honestly, it does a really good job if you apply it in the morning of keeping you nice and matte through the day. All right, our final touches, I'm gonna do as a setting spray as well, go back to the Beauty Counter charcoal spray and just do one spray of this. And then I'm going to use my 100% Pure Fruit Pigmented Mascara in black tea. I've been using it for a little while now, and so I'm trying to decide what I wanna try next. My friend Jess really loves the, well, she's really enjoying it. the Juice Beauty mascara. So thought about rolling up to Ulta and giving that a whirl. Okay, and then for lippies, I am gonna give this one. It's Mirage from 100% Pure. Once again, has kind of a peachy vibe to it, but it's very wearable. All right, so that is it. That is my, I don't know what I wanna call this. Let's call it my Everyday Glam Peachy Glowy look. So I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more content like this. Like this video if you'd like to see more makeup tutorials, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.